Yeah. So what's up, guys? You might have noticed, I'm still wearing the same shirt. Yeah, I'm gonna shower today. Don't worry. Um, it's very like black, white, right? Very Saturnian, very Masonic in a way. Not that I'm a Mason. I'm not. I don't really buy into that culture. I also kind of consider the Masons to be basically like superficial, like they don't, it's an old man's club and they don't really take themselves too seriously, which I absolutely disagree with. Occultism is a very serious topic. You can't just, like, this is a big problem. And like, I've talked about this with like teenage girls who dabble in the occult, like they tarot cards and they learn about astrology, and they play with Ouija boards, and they don't know what they're doing really. They don't know how serious this is. I've okay, so I've recently um, met another patient, a young woman, no, an older woman. She's kind of old. She doesn't look as old as she is. This is actually obviously okay. I'm getting to that. She immediately started talking to me, and I noticed she knows something about me, and I noticed that I know something about her. Like, okay, we just recognize each other. That woman, she also talked about, like, she hinted at like things she does and what she did to her ex-husband, and like that she knows about runes and all of that. And she noticed like the energy drink, like that's like an occult symbol. It's the monster, right? It's um rough 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 666. That's obviously like a satanic symbol and a satanic drink, right? um she's a fucking bitch. I can tell. I'm a witch. She's one. And not like, okay, so every witch usually starts off like you decide you become a witch or you're initiated into it. The initiation always consists of like forming a covenant with a specific creature, right? I've told about the covenant my mother formed, and that's the reason I'm here, right? I'm the product of this covenant. And this obviously caused identity issues for me because I know I'm not really a human. I'm a Cambion or something, or a Nephilim. And worried about like, can I go to heaven? Can I accept Jesus Christ? That's for humans, right? That's not for me. I'm not really a human. I'm physically a human, but my soul comes from somewhere else. Somewhere I don't know. I probably recognize it if I see it, but it's not. It's not from God. I don't think so. So that woman, that patient, definitely did engage in a covenant, and it ate her up. She's not there anymore. Like my mother. My mother isn't there anymore. She's dead. Her soul is dead. And this is like Christopher Lee talked about this. Don't, when you think about occultism, never, 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 you're not only going to lose your mind, you're going to lose your soul. And this is totally true. Don't dabble in the occult at all. This shit is dangerous because it works. It's real, okay? To like, um, Nick Fuentes was real. It was right when he said, "I don't want to learn about this. It's all bullshit because it's real and it's not from God." Right? It's the reason astrology works is not from God. The reason astrology is can be confirmed to work is because it's magic that doesn't come from God. The reason why hexing and like spells and all of that verifiably work. Like, I have seen it myself. I have done it myself. It works. It it's hard to prove, obviously, because that's how magic works. It's always in the liminal space where, like, just like with prophetic dreams, you're only ever going to find out it was a prophetic dream once it happens, right? So you can't do anything with it. So the issue is, this shit is real. Magic is real. Witchcraft is real. Satanism is real. These people really worship the devil. The devil is real. It's all real. Stay away from it for your own safety. believe me, I was born into it, okay? I was born into it. I could have gone on a really bad path. It was a miracle. I'm not even human, okay? I shouldn't have the protection of God, because God didn't make me. He doesn't recognize me. He didn't originally recognize me as one of his children. But an angel personally appeared to me, and that was the covenant I made. Not with any demon. Usually it's a demon. Angels do not involve themselves with human affairs. They believe in free will. They leave you alone. You can't really summon an angel, right? You are always going to summon a demon or a jinn or an elf or something of that regard. Something that's definitely not from God. That's distinct. That's on your level. That's the thing. These beings are so much more powerful than you. You can't even comprehend them, but they're still on your level of creation. Nothing is between you and God. You cannot tolerate any intermediator between yourself and God. Do not join a church. Do not, especially not join the Catholic Church, because that has two levels. The priest stands between you and God, and the Pope especially. And as long as you're in any church, eventually you're going to worship that church and not God. That's the issue. Like, I've seen it with my best friend. That guy is not divinely inspired. He does not have a relationship with God. He has a relationship with the Pope, and that's why he's such a dumb cuck. So, anyways, I really don't have anything good to say about my best friend, which is weird, right? I still consider him my best friend, and I keep talking to him, like, but like I don't know, it's such a like love-hate relationship, but I can't do it without him. So, anyways, mm, do not bother with the occult. It's not for you. They will tell you it's for you. They will tell you have a special purpose. You already have a special purpose. That special purpose is to be saved through Jesus Christ and return to God. That's your special purpose. You are God's favorite child. Please appreciate that. This life is temporary. Heaven is forever. And that's what you should appreciate. It's not, we are all losers in this world. We all have shitty lives. It's not going to get better. But this is temporary. You're not going to stay here. And in the broader scheme of things, once you're with God, it's all going to look like the blink of an eye, like it's nothing. Do not take it so seriously, right? Take it seriously when it comes to the spiritual, because that can affect you after death. That's important. That's the only important thing. Not your credit balance, not anything. That alone, your relationship with God and what you do with it. That's the only thing that matters. My cats are meowing. So, anyways, I wanted to tell something else. Yeah, and like this, because that's the thing. I'm not even a human. I'm a Cambion. I'm like half demonic. My soul is definitely demonic, and yet still an angel of God appeared to me, and I was basically adopted into humanity. I was given a chance to redeem myself of my nature, become a child of God. And I'm infinitely grateful for this opportunity. And I am going to spend the rest of this short life to spread the word, to spread the word of God, to save as many people as I can, and to advance, basically, to just spread the word, right? Like, God is holding his hand, he's reaching his hand to you, wanting to save you. He wants to save you. He doesn't want anyone to go to hell. But we are already here in hell. The demons are all around us. And when we're dead and we don't go to heaven because we haven't accepted the help that God, Jesus Christ, has given us, then we are going to stay here. And the demons are going to eat us. That's the thing. That's hell. Right? It's not a cave underground. It's the state of existing without God. And many people are already in that. And my only task is to tell people that Jesus Christ came here to tell us that God is he's reaching his hand out to save us. There's nothing else that you have to do. There's no special laws or anything. There's no halakhic rules or like different like mitzvahs or something, mitzvot, which you have to follow. You can eat pork, like you can sin or anything. You should try not to, but it doesn't really, like, the only thing that matters is accepting the help that Jesus Christ offered you. That's the only thing that matters. Everything else can be forgiven, because God has basically already forgiven you. You just need to accept that forgiveness. That's all. Jesus Christ came to this planet. He was crucified here. That was his act of forgiving us. He took all of the sins that he should be mad about, and he took them out on himself, basically. And like, justice is pretty strict, right? Even God has to follow it. Like, every sin has to be punished, but you don't have to carry the guilt alone. You don't have to carry the punishment alone. That's what sacrifice used to be. But like, pre-Christian sacrifice was like a perverted pagan thing. Like, even the Jewish one, that's, I don't believe in the Old Testament. That's not an Old Testament. That's historical context. The Jews were never praying to the same God as the Christians. Never. And many Christians are praying to the Jewish God because they have read the Old Testament. I think it's really part of the Bible. They worship this Jewish, pagan, tribal warlord that probably isn't even a supernatural being. It's probably some kind of alien or something. Realistically, it's probably a lizard man living somewhere in the Sinai. And that's what they're worshipping. And they are going to be lost because of this. And this is the dangerous thing that the modern church, and like, it started in the medieval age, but like modern context, like, I consider everything after the fall of Rome modern, right? So that church put the Jewish parts back in. That's the Judaizers won. The Jews took over Christianity, and now we are worshipping. I don't. Some Christians don't, but most Christians worship the Jewish God, which isn't a god, which isn't even a supernatural being. It's not even close to a demon. It's a human, basically. It's a Bronze Age alien warlord that pretended to be something higher, so he could harvest like spiritual energy from the sacrifices the Jews made. That's all there is. The Jews do not have a god. They worship a lizard person. And many Christians do too. And all pagans do, right? Though I'm obviously a bit biased. I think the Germanic gods, the Aesir, are probably like, they were warped later, but I think they were like a memory of like prehistoric Aryan leaders, high kings. Because like in the Edda and all of that, you don't really see anything supernatural. They have like these apples which keep them immortal, but that's basically a form of technology. Anyone can probably do that with the necessary knowledge. That doesn't mean they're magical. Otherwise, like, they have characters, they do magic, they ask their gods for advice. Basically, it doesn't really say that directly, but it says it implicitly. They are not gods. They are humans, objectively. Powerful humans, advanced humans with incredible technology. But all the pagan gods are humans. Maybe not Homo sapiens, but humans in the sense that they are sentient material beings with a soul that lived on this planet, or maybe somewhere else, and lived a life very similar to ours. And you shouldn't worship them. You can venerate them as like important ancestors, but you shouldn't worship them any more than you worship Napoleon, right? My point is, do not mess with the occult. I was born into it. I was raised into it. We were basically a witch coven. It could have been really bad had my initiation in that phase where I had these psychic meltdowns and like visions and manic episodes where if something else stepped in, some demon, and gave me their mission, made me their pet basically, but through divine intervention, through a miracle, an angel of God appeared to me instead of a demon. And that angel told me, don't worry, basically. It's not your responsibility to fix the world. It's not your responsibility to be a special person. You are a child of God, and that is more than enough. and I guess I am a child of God now. I was adopted into humanity. I was adopted into God's creation, even though I wasn't at birth. And I'm infinitely grateful for that. And again, my task now is just to tell you that Jesus Christ came to earth. He is the living human incarnation of the Creator God, the one above all, the source of all reality, the prime principle, the one indivisible source of everything, and which exists within everything, and we all exist inside God, basically. It's a bit more philosophical than usual Christian people who believe he's a guy in the clouds. Like, again, the Jewish God is a guy in the clouds, right? He's an alien in a UFO, and he's like a reptilian person. And most conventional ideas of God are really just people in clouds, not gods. Nothing worthy of worship. Maybe worthy of human respect and basic decency, if they weren't like, if they didn't always keep demanding human sacrifices and all of that, because that's fucked. But again, there's only one sacrifice necessary to cover all of our sins, and that was the sacrifice of Jesus Christ. God Himself sacrificed Himself to even the score for all time. That's it. We don't need to burn any offerings anymore. We haven't, like, all our previous sins weren't forgiven because those offerings were to pagan deities which aren't even supernatural beings but basically aliens. Like, we believed it was covering our sins. It was a scapegoat, right? But it was literally just a process of nourishing them. It was basically just proto-adrenochrome harvesting. Like, that's the basic principle. I don't think the adrenochrome thing is just about the substance itself, because the substance itself appears to chemically not really do anything. It's more about the emotions that are created by torturing someone. And these emotions, this louche in some occult contexts, is probably some sort of very physical source of energy that these beings use and need for some reason. Maybe because they don't have any uranium lying around or something. I don't know. Yeah, and obviously adrenochrome doesn't make you immortal, because like so many people who obviously have taken it still die at regular ages, right? And they look like shit. They age worse than usual people, maybe because adrenochrome probably isn't very healthy for you. It probably wrecks your genetic telomeres. So it's kind of like an illusion, like a misconception, faulty tradition that has been told to them, so they continue these sacrifices. Because today, most people are not really that religious, not even the satanic elites. They don't really believe that they need to appease the gods by sacrificing people, so they need another incentive to keep doing it. And that incentive is like, hey, we give you technology and we make you immortal. And they never do any of that, obviously. But they believe they're doing that. They are giving them some scraps, like they sometimes leave some UFOs around, and like you can't really reconstruct anything from that. Like, for example, Roswell, that wasn't aliens, that was the Nazis. That was a Nazi UFO which crashed, and that's where they got like Velcro and night vision from. But that's not really that advanced technology. That was probably like a Horton 299 or something, some regular plane that the Nazis had. So and yeah, the Nazis obviously survived World War II. Like, the Germans as a people were thrown to the wolves, were like genocided and enslaved and all of that. But the Nazi leadership, they fled to Antarctica and Argentina, and the Allied governments let them do it. Obviously, this is kind of like basic stuff, right? Everyone kind of knows this already. By the way, the world isn't flat. That's bullshit. Okay, the world isn't flat. It doesn't need to be flat. There's probably the world is a planet, and there's millions or billions of other inhabited planets. We are special because Jesus came to us specifically. We don't know if He also came to them, but He came to us specifically, as far as we know. And that's why all of these alien races want to have our planet, because like, oh shit, God Himself came to this planet. We are the chosen planet, right? we are the chosen planet, and they are really mad about that. They want to know what makes us special, and I don't know what makes us special. Only God knows, really. Um, so, um, yeah, the sound issues aren't getting better. I have no idea what causes it. I'm sorry. You're just going to have to listen carefully. I'm sorry. I just I have a shitty phone, but I can't buy a new one. I don't have the money. So it's just like this right now. For now, maybe it's insured. I have a contract or something. I could probably switch it out for a new one. Um, I have to figure that out. So for now, just expect the sound to routinely get totally unintelligible, but like my accent is already unintelligible, so yeah. um, um, and this message that I have, actually, it doesn't really just apply to Christians. It kind of applies to all religions that at least partially acknowledge the reality of the one indivisible God. And that includes Islam. And people, from everything you've heard from me, you probably think I hate Islam, but I don't really. I specifically hate Sunni Islam. I specifically hate Sunni Muslims because Sunni Muslims, they have they have flooded our countries. They have raped over 1 million British girls, children, and tortured them, and kidnapped them and prostituted them. Something which is unacceptable, not just unacceptable, but unforgivable. And they have committed terror attacks that killed thousands, and they have allied with the Zionists. And instead of driving them from rightful Palestinian territory and liberating the Palestinians, they instead decide that they want to do their own Zionism, their own settler colonialism in Europe. And they accept collaboration with the Zionists and accept their help because the Zionists control the Western governments, that the Zionists and the Sunni Muslims work together to settler colonize, ethnically replace, and ultimately exterminate the white people. That's the plan, right? And like I say that I'm an ethnic Jew, right? But obviously this isn't necessarily about all Jews. Like obviously there are people like me who maybe have a bit more separation from the culture and can see everything more clearly and don't think, oh, Esau must be destroyed. No, Esau is the only thing keeping us alive, right? So why should we harm them at all? We need a pragmatic alliance. So my point is, I don't really hate Islam in general. I actually like Shiite Muslims. Shiite Muslims are great. Okay, Shiite Muslims have never done anything against us. We have nothing we can be angry at them for. We have harmed them. They have a right to be angry at us, but they don't really seem to be too angry at us specifically because they know the reality of the situation, that we have no agency at this moment. We are an occupied people. So they have an incredible warrior culture, one that isn't predatory. They have never really waged any offensive wars. They have only ever waged defensive wars. They've only ever waged war to defend themselves. They have never attacked anyone. They have no interest in building an empire like the Sunni Muslims do. They are genuinely a good race, right? Sunni Muslims are subhuman, but Shiite Muslims are in a way, their culture, their attitude, they are genetically Aryan. They are related to us. They have more by blood alone. They have more in common with us than with Arabs. But they also have so many. They have such a respect for the philosophical history of Greece and Persia and the Scythians. They have they are basically everything the Aryans. We Aryans, right? We Aryans. I am over 99% Aryan, so it's just that maternal line. We Aryans are, and we used to be before the Western Empire brainwashed it out of us. And right now, they they are basically our brothers. We don't share the same conception of God. They think Jesus Christ was a prophet, not God Himself, right? There are very important issues between us, but they are so much closer to us than even some Christian sects. Like, my cat is sitting on my lap. And the war that is waged now, this disgusting Western Empire, which is totally alien to our racial, spiritual meaning, to our actual soul, which intends to exterminate us, which has nothing but contempt for us and wants to replace us with basically anyone else, and which keeps waging imperialist wars of extermination against some of the most noble peoples on this planet, like the Iranians, the Koreans, the Vietnamese, the Germans. Actually, that's how we started. We were conquered. We weren't part of the West originally. We used to be our own thing. We were a continental power similar to Russia, but we were occupied, enslaved, brainwashed, and now many of us are willing accomplices of our own eradication. That's an awful situation. That's tragic beyond all measure. So I pray that the German people will be free one day, and we can accept, we can reject and atone for the collaboration with the Western project and live in peace with like the many proud and noble peoples of this planet, like the Iranians. And this Western demonic, satanic, atheistic, technocratic, and like kinda Talmudic monstrosity that is the West, the Western Empire, is unequivocally waging a war of extermination against the Iranian people. And the Iranian people are just defending themselves. They are just defending themselves in everything they do. They have such restraint. They could have nuked Washington DC by now. They have not, because so far they want to prevent American civilians from getting hurt. Their civilians are dying in thousands, and they still acknowledge that the civilians of the other people, of the enemy nations, are still like basically a captive people. Someone that may think they are accomplices, that may think they support this, but they have no agency of their own. They're brainwashed. They are enslaved. They have no real responsibility for any of this, except the only responsibility is to free themselves. And I hope and I think that eventually in the near future they will. We will. And again, this, I mean, Iran could like throw a nuke at Berlin and I would still justify it. I would still support it. Actually, like it wouldn't even be bad for Germany. Like objectively, Berlin is bad for Germany. Like they cost so much money. They are full of leftists and they are full of foreigners. And like Berlin should be razed to the ground. And believe me, Germany would be better off. And while I absolutely believe that the only way for justice and the moral equilibrium to be restored between us and the Sunni Muslims is to eradicate all of them, I do not believe the same for the Shiites. I do not believe Islam is bad for them. I believe that religion is actually not just noble and not just very close to the spiritual truth of reality, but also like just kind of Aryan, right? It's like Iran is literally the country named Aryan. They are one of the oldest Aryan nations on this planet, and I think it is the oldest, right? The Indian states weren't unified until like World War II. The European empires appeared kind of later. Like maybe Greece is older, but not by much. So my point is, the Iranians are waging a sacred war of defense against the most evil empire in the history of humanity. They are waging this war in a humane way. They are not harming civilians. They have not killed a single civilian in this entire war. The Americans have killed over 6,000. And they could end this right now with nukes. They have nukes. They definitely already have nukes. If not their own, they definitely have Pakistani nukes or have like Russian nukes or Chinese. They have nukes. They could use them at any moment and they don't. I personally am kind of frustrated that they don't, because it's extending this war. They should like nuke Israel specifically, because that's where it hurts. Nuking America, the Americans would keep going, because Americans don't really matter in the empire. The core of the Western Empire is Israel. Israel is, the Jewish Israeli people are the leading supreme master race of the Western Empire. They control everything. They are the only ones who have human value attributed to them. Even the foreigners, which are treated way better than white people, they are still a subject race, which is just doing what the Jews tell them to do. And the moment they disobey, like they start protesting against Israel, they get deported. That happens really quickly, because like the Jews are the Jewish supremacy in the Western Empire is more direct than like German supremacy in the Nazi Empire. It's much worse. Like the Nazis considered Slavs like to be subhuman, yes, but the Jews do not even consider us to be animals. They consider us to be demons in the flesh, and I am a demon in the flesh. I'm literally a demon in the flesh, but I am Jewish. So yeah. Anyways, that's kind of weird, right? So my point is, I love the Iranian people almost as much as I love the German people, and I have definitely have at this point I have more to be proud about the Iranian people than about the German people, because we right now are in a really bad spot and we don't seem to get out, and it only seems to get worse for the next couple of years. And I just hope that we're going to survive this coming war and have a chance to redeem ourselves and reclaim like our ethnic pride and reclaim our lost territories. Like, I don't know, I don't have anything against Poles, but they are on our land, right? I'm a land back guy. I want the native territory of the German nation back, and the actual historical borders of Germany. If you go back to pre-Roman times, goes deep into Ukraine. That's my opinion. Anyways, long live Iran, freedom for Palestine from the river to the sea, send the Jews all back to Brooklyn. That's okay. Don't hurt them, just send them back to Brooklyn. They are going to be fine, believe me. They have moved so many times, it won't hurt them. Just send them back to Brooklyn. No Jew has anything to do in the Eastern Hemisphere. They should not be here. They should all be in America. That's my opinion. Don't deport me. I'm a German. I have accepted this. I have totally rejected the Jewish side of me. I can't really deny the reality of my ancestry, but I am fully loyal to the Aryan race, and I am like 99.9999% Aryan, right? And Ancestry.com did not recognize even a single percentage of Ashkenazi ancestry, right? I am legally, like, according to the Jews, I'm a Jew, but according to like everything else, I'm just a German. That's it. I'm just a German. I'm really happy about that. Okay, I'm really happy about that, because like I don't know any Jews. I've never gone to any Jewish schools. I mean, I do know a couple Jews, but everyone knows a couple Jews. But like this is, I don't identify with it. I totally reject that part. My only, I just I pray for the Iranian people that they will be protected from harm, from any of the atrocities that the Americans, that they committed against us too. Like the Gaza bombing, the Gaza genocide is a direct continuation of the Dresden genocide, and it's justified in the same way. Like if you say like, oh, it's okay, we can kill them, they are all radical Muslims. It's the same rhetoric as to say, oh, it's okay, we can kill them, they are all Nazis. That's the same thing, and the same atrocities, the same like indiscriminate bombings of civilian areas, the same mass rapes, the same slavery is committed for this, in the same with the same framework, the same idea. The idea that anyone that opposes Jews is not even human, and that's a very Jewish thing to believe. And all anti-fascists that believe that shit, that don't consider that like Nazis have human rights, but like they support Palestine, they can't be taken seriously because they are not consistent. They like believe the Jewish narrative in one hand and they reject the Jewish narrative in the other. The only difference is Nazis are white. That's the only difference. And in that way, they only reinforce the Jewish narrative further, because for Jews, unfortunately, whites are the enemy that needs to be eradicated, and everyone else can be safely enslaved because everyone else has some trait, like either low IQ or, like in the case of the Asians, like submissive collectivism. They can all be very easily controlled and enslaved. We can't. We are currently enslaved, but this isn't permanent. This wasn't permanent with Weimar Germany. They tried to enslave the German people once before, and that didn't work. And it only took one ruthless dictator who solved everything. That's objectively, like Hitler was the lesser evil at that point. That's why people voted for him. And he decided he has to kill everyone, basically, to solve Germany's problems. And like, fuck around, find out, right? Like 6 million Jews are basically dead now because some rich fucking Jews decided, hey, we want another colony. And they messed with the wrong people, and now 6 million innocent Jews are dead. And I don't want anyone to die. Actually, I don't really want anyone to die. I'm not in favor of genocide, obviously. But like in a very lucid way, you have to expect that it's going to happen. This is going to happen when World War III starts and like civil wars erupt all over Europe, and central authority collapses. People are going to get revenge. They're going to get revenge to anyone who looks like their abusers, and their abusers are all Muslims. And most Muslims here are alright people, right? They do not deserve to be hurt. They shouldn't be here, but they shouldn't be harmed. They haven't committed any crime except being here. And being here is basically a victimless crime on its own. And they are going to get hurt, unfortunately. Unless we see like an immediate political change and like peaceful mass expulsions, peaceful mass deportations. That's the only way they can save their lives. So I tell every Muslim who lives in Europe, please vote for the far-right parties, because they are the ones that are going to save your life, because they want to expel you peacefully with your stuff. You can keep all your stuff, you can keep all your money, you just have to leave, but you're not going to be harmed. But you know what happens when they don't get elected. You know what happens when you keep staying here and other people who look like you keep committing crimes in the name of your religion. Because white people are angry. They don't show you that. White people never show you that. Weimar Germany, Germans were always very polite. They didn't really commit any pogroms until Hitler came and allowed them to. And someone like Hitler is going to return, and they are going to allow the white people to jump out, and then you are going to get butchered in like barbaric ways which you can't even imagine, which haven't been seen since the Rwandan genocide, right? This is going to get really fucking ugly. Save your life, please. Please. I do not want a single person to get hurt, especially not anyone innocent. Please leave now. This is dangerous. This is very dangerous for you, for me, for anyone who's like associated with any kind of minority where like crimes have been committed in their name. We are all fucked right now. Please leave. For yourself, not for us. We want you gone, but don't do this for us. Do this to save your own skin, save yourself, save your children, save your wives, save yourselves. This is by leaving now. Now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not next year, now. The war is starting in a month. It's starting in a month, and then you're not going to be allowed to leave. So leave now. Please, save yourself. Please save your life. this is going to get really ugly, and a lot of people are going to get massacred. And it's not going to get better for years. You are not going to survive this if you stay here. I'm not saying this as a right-wing extremist. I'm saying this as someone who can see the signs and knows what's going to happen, and someone who's very compassionate, who wants everyone to live safely and freely, and thinks that everyone has a right to these things. You have a right to these things too, but you need to take this right by defending yourselves and leaving. And don't take the risk and say, oh, I'm joining a militia and I'm defending myself and I'm going to fight in the race war. You have no idea how that's going to turn out. The chance is 50-50 that you're going to mess up, get killed, and all your family is going to get killed in brutal ways, and you're going to be made to watch. This is going to be so awful. The only way for you to save yourselves is to leave now. Understand me. Please listen to me. Please listen to me. If you do not listen to me, you have brought your fate on yourselves. Please, I'm trying to save your life by telling you this. This is actually messing me up, right? Because over 50 million people are going to get murdered in the next 10 years. And it's all preventable. It's all preventable. I don't know. I don't know what else to tell you. I know I'm not really someone who inspires respect or anything. You don't really need to take this weird young guy seriously that doesn't even have a hint of muscles or anything, that doesn't really have any credible degrees or something. I mean, I have an IQ of 140, but that's basically the only thing I can appeal to. It's not even that high, right? I know a couple people who have 150, 160. Just please save your life. This is messing me up so much because I see several races, millions, if not billions of people that are, my cats are fighting, that are driving full gas pedal towards an abyss, and only I can see what they're doing. Only I can see it. And so many people are going to die. It's just heartbreaking. Genuinely. It's not going to get better. You're not going to defeat the right. You just have to choose which right you want. The non-violent one or the violent one. This is going to happen. I can tell you that. I swear, may God strike me down right now if I say a lie. If I do not speak the truth right now, may God strike me down right now. And he's not. He could be. I take this very seriously. He would have struck me down if I didn't tell you right now what I sincerely believe to be the truth. Good Lord, they don't. They're fighting. They hate each other. This is going to get really bad. It's not going to get better. And this year already is shit, right? I've witnessed at least 2 people dying in my immediate vicinity. My best friend, her grandpa died. I was there when they pulled the plug. I saw it. I saw his eyes glaze over. It's something you never forget. And then today, another patient in the ward I'm sleeping in has committed suicide. They tried to resuscitate her. It didn't work. Everyone's heartbroken, especially the nurse who tried to resuscitate her. Poor guy. And a lot of more people are going to die this year. And way more people are going to die next year. And at the end of the decade, 500 million people will be dead. If not more. I haven't counted in the starvation in Africa. Africa itself is fucked beyond repair. It's just totally messed up. They have they can't feed themselves. They can feed reliably, autonomously with the arable land they have. They can feed about 250 million people. they have 5 times that population. You can expect what will happen when the grain shipments from Ukraine truly get cut off. You can expect what will happen when all the Western countries that are subsidizing their existence are busy fighting a total war. They are going to be driven near extinction. So at the end of the decade, actually, like half of all humans alive will no longer be alive. They will all be dead. Like this is going to get so fucking bad. The global trade system is not going to survive. The internet is going to be gone. So much information is going to be gone. Anyone who has physical copies of books will be like very lucky. Anyone who thought, oh, I just digitize my entire library. I have my ebook and all of that. Like, try using your ebook when like a nuclear EMP has fried all your devices. It's all going to be lost then. Try listening to music without having any instruments. Like, we are facing an event comparable to the Bronze Age collapse, a true apocalypse, and it's going to happen. It's not even going to be alone. It's not just going to be the nuclear bombs, and there's going to be a lot of those. But nuclear war alone won't destroy civilization. It's going to be everything around it: the collapse of trade lines, the collapse of the internet, the collapse of the massive death of skilled people with like the training and all of that, the burning away of like the schematics of devices and all of that. At the end of this war, we are going to be on like a 16th century level of technology, and then so much more people are going to die because of disability and of illness. People who are diabetic are going to be fucked because nobody is synthesizing insulin anymore. Where it's going to get really bad, right? And this is why I am convinced, I have to be convinced that like whatever race has sent me and my siblings is going to invade this planet and save us. Save us from like the reptilian overlords that have conquered this planet and are slowly trying to exterminate the human race. Like, it's going to look like an alien invasion, obviously, and we are all going to try resisting it because that's what we've been taught. We don't know we've already been occupied and conquered. But that's actually like, it has to happen. And I think when I die, and I will die in the next couple of years, I am not going to live to see my 29th birthday. I know this. So when I die and return to wherever I came from, I'm going to try to say, please save the humans of Earth. And I don't know what will happen then, really. I'm not pretending like I'm probably some kind of big guy in the hierarchy. Like, they sent me here and like to a shitty family. It was totally haphazard, and I suffered so much, and my siblings suffered so much, and we are all broken people because of it. And like, if we return, we are going to spend centuries in therapy because of all of this shit. And I don't think you do that to like a noble or something. You do that to like a minimum wage worker. Okay, so yeah. Anyways, time's kind of running out. My videos have become much longer than I used to be. Usually it's like 10 to 20 minutes, right? And this is the second video that approaches an hour. I'm sorry about that. This is very tedious, obviously. But I just had to say this. Like, okay, I love Iran almost as much as I love Germany. I hope the Iranians win this war, but this war is going to last and turn into the Third World War. Like, this is going to escalate. The Russians are going to be attacked by the Israelis for supplying the Iranians with nukes, and then NATO will be at war with Russia, and then China is going to get involved. They're going to first side with the Russians and betray them for Taiwan and all of that. It's going to get really ugly. Billions of people are going to die. We too, me and my siblings, we are not going to survive that. But it is what it is, right? And it's going to get better eventually. Eventually, after a long time of suffering. And right now, we are in a situation which is so close to hell that I can't even think about it because it's unbearable. Not just what I was put through, what everyone is put through. Like, it's awful. Everyone suffers. Everyone is in perpetual agony, basically. I don't even think the rich people who like have everything that they are happy. They have everything. They can rape any child they want and all of that. They don't really. I mean, I imagine the separation from God that is caused by this is giving them more suffering than anyone. And like actually like there I go back to like magic and all of that. Like my mother, she made a pact with some evil creature. That woman, the patient in the hospital, that person is like even more evil. Like there's nothing left. She's generally terrifying, and she's like a small woman. Like she's really clearly like she's like not physically intimidating, but you can feel the evil energy emanate, and it's so thick you can chew it. And she has probably done some things which I can't even imagine. I don't want to have anything to do with that person. I invoke Jesus Christ, protect me from this evil witch, this evil black witch. She's not black, it's term. Black witch, white witch, and all of that. White witches are the good ones. I am technically a white witch because I'm a Christian, right? But not fully. I have tried to hex people. I have tried to hex my stepdad. I have tried to kill him with that. It didn't work, not fully. He lost all his teeth and got a hernia and all of that. He did get injured by it, but I think the angel that is watching over me is preventing me from actually doing something that I can't go back from. I can't kill someone with magic because that is murder. That is objectively murder. It isn't legally murder, but it's murder. I am intentionally trying to kill this person. I still am. Maybe if like CPS or something doesn't step in and I can solve this thing peacefully, I might physically murder him. Because like I'm desperate and what else should I do? Should I allow my siblings to get raped by this fucking bastard? I mean, no, not really. I don't care if I go to prison afterwards. I can't really hide any corpse or anything. It would be obvious who did it because I've talked about it. I definitely have a motive. So even if he like dies of a heart attack or something, the cops are going to question me at least. And I pray that he's dying of a heart attack very soon, or like at least CPS gets involved and the kids get a safe home to live in. I hope I can keep contact. I don't know how CPS really works with that. But again, I'm not really a full white witch. I've tried to do evil stuff, right? I try to kill people. I try to hex people. I hexed my dad successfully. He like once beat me so much I broke some bones. And then I just wished him. I told him, I don't want to kill you. I just want you to experience the same thing you did to me. And and like a week later, he fell really bad, and he broke a couple bones. It works. Obviously, it works. My mom did the same to him. She hexed him in a way that I'm not going to disclose right now, and that definitely worked. It's medically confirmed, and that's probably a part why he's so mad right now and so like incel coded and desperate and bitter because like his dick doesn't work anymore. He won't get a girlfriend. He wants like an 18-year-old impressionable child that he can groom, but like he can't. He can't even get his dick working anymore. So yeah, he's fucked. So my mother can hex people, but she apparently only hexes for herself. She doesn't care about anyone except herself. She's like, that's the mask has eaten up completely, right? And like, this is also why I'm so bad with money. I haven't at all inherited my mother's a capability for Babylonian money magic. She always has money. She buys 4 houses on a minimum wage income, and she obviously has a magical power in that regard. She thinks God is helping her. I don't think God is helping her. I think something else is helping her, because if she actually had any connection to God, she would be aware of what she's doing and she wouldn't do it. But she still keeps doing it. She's completely in denial. And sometimes, hey, sometimes the devil disguises himself as an angel of light, right? Um, there's a lot of people who think they're Christians, but they worship the devil because, and you can see it by their fruits. You can see it in their actions. Anyways, fuck yeah. Anyways, I haven't really inherited that gene for the Babylonian money magic. I'm really bad with money. It keeps flowing through my hands like water. I sometimes get money. I sometimes ask friends for money, but it's never enough for the rest of the month, even though it should objectively be enough. It's not just bad spending. It's literally just, I don't know. I can't do it, and like I keep getting like every time I have some money, and I think it's going to be enough for the month. I get a new like bill or something. It's never enough, and that's not just because like my Mars is opposite my Saturn. That's definitely a part of it. Astrologically speaking, I that is a very bad aspect. Mars opposite Saturn is like the key for criminals. It's like most criminals, most violent criminals, most thieves, and all of that, most actors have Mars opposite Saturn, because it's a sign that you are being held back for a lot of your time in your youth, and it's a sign that your internal energetic drive, your libido, is opposite to your restrictions, to that part of you that holds you back, that your obstacles in your life. So it's basically the aspect of saying you're fucked. You're not going to achieve anything before you're 30. Deal with it. There are bad constellations in astrology. There are bad signs in your birth chart. Like you shouldn't like Capricorn. Okay, Capricorn is a fucking awful sign because it's the sign that's always misunderstood as like everyone will think if you are Capricorn, everyone will think you are stingy and annoying and ungregarious, and most people will not like you, even though you aren't that. It's just the sign that makes you misunderstood, right? It's a fucking awful sign. You don't want to have it anywhere. Just say Maxwell, for example. She was a Capricorn. She's very misunderstood. People, I don't know. She's probably still a pedophile and an evil person, but um, like I think there might be some more elements of like Epstein grooming her into it. So maybe she's not fully responsible for everything. Judging by the Capricorn, she's probably a better person than people think she is. Not a good person by far. She's still an evil person, but not as evil as people think. Um, yeah, the Mars opposite Saturn is bad, but like also the simple fact is money belongs to the devil. Money is a demonic force. Money has never had a good influence on anyone. If you have too little money, you get desperate and start doing criminal acts to save yourself. If you have too much money, you get like bored and unhappy and afraid of losing it all, and you start becoming like Epstein. Um, you just can't win with money. Money is belongs to the devil, and like I have been, I have been picked out by God. He saved me. He adopted me into the human species, and that way I'm like obviously I can't deal with money. People who are protected by God don't have much contact with something that does not come from God at all. So yeah, I will always be poor, regardless of what I do, and that's okay. Some people, I don't know, if I was rich, I'm I'd probably become a bad person even though I wouldn't notice it. I'm just like, I mean, I always imagine like if I was rich, I'd give all my money away for other people, and like, but would I if I had a stable income and I would know I would stay rich? Yes, I would be very, very philanthropic. I would give my money away to anyone who asks. Yes, I would, but if it was like a lump sum I won by the lottery or something, I would probably put it into my account and never touch it. But I don't know. Um, Money is the devil. Don't deal with it. Like even like don't be a communist either. Like communism still works around the framework. It still revolves around the economy. Basically, it's still materialist. It still has no place for God. And so don't be that either. Just be like compassionate, try to help others whenever you can, build a community, be selfless as much as you can, but still don't give yourself up totally, because if you're dead, you can't help anyone, right? So save yourself first and then give as much as you can to others. That's like the best way to live, for, especially now where everything is going to shit and we're living through like the first stages of like the divine eschatological process of the apocalypse, and we are basically awaiting the Antichrist, and the third temple is being rebuilt and everything. Especially now, the solution isn't political. The solution has never been political, but I think the reason why every politician now is like totally fucked and evil and keeps disappointing us. Like Trump, we all thought initially, a lot of us thought initially, oh, he's gonna fix shit. He's gonna save us in a way. He's gonna fix the economy. He's going to kick all the foreigners out. He's going to restore America and all of that. He's going to make America great again. He did nothing of that. He did nothing of that. He disappointed everyone, and he keeps disappointing everyone. And he's become like an unapologetic villain. And he might be actually the Antichrist. So don't put your faith in people. Believing in politics is putting your faith in people. Put your faith in God, because God save us. Only He can. Only He can. The solution isn't political, it's religious, it's spiritual. Put your faith in God, because you cannot put your faith in any other human. Every human on this planet is going to disappoint you from now on. Nobody is going to be anything but a failure. Everything is going to shit. And this has the reason. This has a reason. The reason is you're supposed to find your way back to God, because only God can save you. And that's really all there is, right? We have no heroes anymore. And we shouldn't have any heroes right now, because our heroes we have are frauds, are deceivers, are false prophets. And the only even churches are like that. Churches are not spiritual. They are political. If you are in a church, you're not with God. You're with the church. You're worshiping the church. Churches are just like Elon Musk building his own golem to worship. That's idol worship. That's what idol worship means. It's not just you shall have no other god before me. It's there is no other god before me. Just only God is the solution. Everything else is a distraction, and everything else is imperfect, even if I try, and everything else will eventually disappoint you. There's only God. Only God is reliable. Only God is there for you. Definitely there for you. Everyone else is going to disappoint you. Your big brother is going to disappoint you when he tries to get you out of a bad situation. Your mother is definitely going to disappoint you when she gets you into a bad situation and keeps getting you into bad situations. Your father is especially going to disappoint you, because you only have one father. That's not your biological father. That's the father of all of us. The one above all, God Himself, the creator of everything that is and isn't. That's the only father in everything. He's the only father. And He's our father, and He loves us. And we just need to accept His help. That's what I want to tell you. That's all you need to take from this video. Not just the political stuff, or not just my talk about occultism, though you should take that seriously. Don't deal with occultism. It's not for humans. It's something the fallen angels on Mount Hermon gave the humans so they can circumvent God and deal with the demons and something. And the Jews have done this all the time. All tribes, all pagan tribes, and Jews are pagans. All pagan tribes have done magic. King Solomon was a magician. a very good magician, an evil magician, but he's very good at it. He invented a lot of the shit we are now doing. I'm a magician, I'm a wizard, I'm a witch. Unfortunately, I was born into it, I was raised into it, I struggle with staying away from it because it's so deeply ingrained. It's part of my psyche. And yeah, I'm fucked in that regard, but like, I'm not fucked. I am saved through Jesus Christ. He has reached out his hand, and I have taken his hand, and he has pulled me out of this mess. And I have full faith, even though there are parts of me that are doubters. I still have full faith that I'm going to get saved, that it's going to get better. If not in this life, then in the next. And he is watching me. He's keeping an eye on me. He's protecting me where he can, and where it fits into the greater plan. And he wants to do the same for you. And the only thing you have to do is take his hand. Keep his name in your heart. Keep the name of God, Jesus Christ, in your heart. And then nothing can harm you. They can kill you. They can torture you. They can make you a martyr. They can destroy everything you've built. But they can't hurt your soul. Your soul is saved. Your soul is already in heaven. That's what I want to tell you. That's the great hope. The only hope. The one that never goes away. The one that will never leave you. That will always reach his hand out to you to save you. The doors to the kingdom of heaven are always open. You just have to step through them. Goodbye.